Look, all it takes is this single Google query. I hit enter, and there you have it. Open server directories for multiple government sites. Everything you see here is publicly accessible to anyone. This is exactly what Google Dorking is, and today you are going to master it, from basic to expert level. This video is strictly for ethical hacking, bug bounty, and OSINT purposes. Accessing any system without explicit permission is completely illegal. Let's get started. Google Dorking means using Google's advanced search operators to find information that isn't normally visible. It is also widely known as Google hacking. When Google crawls the internet, it indexes many things that administrators never intended to make public. We will use targeted queries to extract that indexed information. In the next section, we will explore each operator through hands-on demonstrations. Using the site, operator restricts the results to a specific domain. For instance, site:/gov targets only government websites. If you use site:/gov followed by a country code like site:/gov.uk, it will display government data specifically from that country. Intitle. Operator ensures that the specified text must appear in the page title. As you can see, this surfaces websites where admin panels are publicly indexed. I'm running this dork within my Kali lab environment. For safety and compliance, I've redacted all live URLs in this demonstration. You can filter specific extensions using filetype. It is possible to find any type of PDF document here. You can search for your desired file in a specific way like any business website. I have shown government site as an example and have hidden some information by filtering, because sometimes sensitive information can be leaked using Google Dork. Now I've combined 3 operators. Result is much shorter because I have to match 3 conditions together. That's the power of chaining. I'll show you a more advanced method later. Each person will have different types of data, which mainly depends on the IP and the target country. You can see the core operators of Google Dork. These are used to find specific sensitive files. Now you've learned the core operators. Now it's time to start working on real attack scenarios, ones used in actual bug bounty hunting. With this technique, I found a server where the entire backup folder was publicly open. Let's see. If the directory listing option is enabled on an Apache or NG-INX server, anyone can see the folder structure of that server. This is a classic misconfiguration. Look, if you go to this URL, you will see the entire server's folders. This means the admin has not disabled directory listing. This is a critical security misconfiguration. An attacker can download configuration files, backups, database dumps, everything from here. Reporting such an error to a bug bounty is usually marked as a medium to high severity error. Now I am looking for a backup zip file. This type of file can contain the entire website's code, database dump, configuration. Sometimes Google doesn't return any results when you search directly. This doesn't mean that there is no data, but rather that Google has filtered it out. To overcome this obstacle, we need to make some modifications to our Dork query. For example, we will now use intitle index_of_backup.zip so that specific directories come to us. You can find a lot of things with Google Dork, you just have to keep changing the search method. This technique tells Google to look for a specific file. It tells Google not to include any web pages in the results. As a result, you will only get directly downloadable files instead of fake articles. Here you can see the directory listing dorks. These dorks basically make our data collection process much faster and more accurate. They can collect a lot of sensitive information, bugs that are marked as high severity in the bug bounty program. What happens if you get an open directory? In the next section, we'll see which sensitive files can be extracted from there. That's even more dangerous. If an attacker gets env, he can dump the entire database. .env file means database password, API key all together. If it's publicly accessible, it's game over. .env file is the developer's configuration file. It contains database name, password, API keys. If you go to these URL, you will see the real database credentials. Ethical hackers will not damage any system. PEM file means SSL private key. Having it publicly accessible means that HTTPS of that server is completely compromised. This query is searching for a database dump file that contains data from the user table. This type of file can contain password hashes for thousands of users. In addition to the common operators, there are some specific queries that can directly reveal the server's secret information. It is possible to directly find the server's private key using such filetype dorks. You now know how to find exposed config files, database dumps, private keys. These are high critical findings in real bug bounty programs. Finding the admin panel is the most important part of recon. Let's map it. This query is retrieving all the admin login pages of the .edu domain. Bug bounty hunters should note here which CMS, which version, what security measures are in the login page. phpMyAdmin is a database management tool. If it is publicly accessible without authentication, an attacker will have direct access to the database. If phpMyAdmin is found to be publicly accessible, it is critical severity. HackerOwn has a good reward for this type of finding. These are high-impact advanced dorks which act as a gold mine for a penetration tester. These advanced filtering techniques are what essentially transform a simple search into a professional security audit tool. Camera and IoT device exposure dorks can be used to find exposed IP cameras and IoT devices on the internet. Security researchers find these and notify the manufacturer. For learning purposes, do not access any camera. Privacy violation and criminal offense. There are thousands of publicly accessible cameras on the internet. Most of them are set up with default passwords, and no one has changed them. An ethical security researcher should notify the camera manufacturer and, if possible, the camera owner of this vulnerability. Accessing a camera is a privacy law violation and a criminal offense. This video only shows the query. Using these specific queries, it is possible to directly find various unsecured IP cameras, network cameras, and live video feeds on the internet. Let's look at database error and exposure dorks. The error message tells you which database, which version, and where the file is located. It's a goldmine for an attacker. This is basically a database structure hunting query. Through it, Google brings us all the files that have been exported directly from phpMyAdmin. Dorks here are used to find database backup files that have been exposed on the internet. As a demo, just typing site:/gov will return a lot of results. It will be difficult to find the right one. Now if add filetype, site:/gov filetype, XLS, the result is reduced, only Excel file. Add intext to it. The result is even lower. These are targeted results. This is exactly how experts find their target. Here are some dorks given by experts. This is how experts use dorks. Google has become very smart now. It can't return results with the same dork. In that case, dorks have to be written and used in a different way. Developers often forget to push AWS keys, Slack tokens, and private keys to GitHub. They can be found by searching for them on Google with this dork. A major category of bug bounty is leaking committed secrets on GitHub and GitLab. Tokens for all platforms, AWS, Slack, Stripe, are leaked this way. Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. If it is exposed to the internet without authentication, an attacker can control the entire build pipeline, including production deployment. This type of finding is called an exposed DevOps tool. It is critical severity in bug bounty. Grafana is a monitoring dashboard. Here you can see server metrics, network traffic, application performance. Publicly exposed means all information leaks about internal infrastructure. Now we're entering a level of Google Dorking that goes far beyond simple search. The queries you see on the screen are designed to find various exposed web services and management panels. My favorite and most dreaded domain in the world of Google Dorking are paste sites. Developers often use sites like Pastebin, Paste.e, or Hashbin to share their code or configuration files. But they often make the mistake of leaving sensitive data like API keys, database credentials, or password logs publicly available. To become an expert dorker, you need to master Boolean logic. It's like doing math with Google's search engine. The main function of advanced Boolean logic dork is to convert multiple search parameters into a powerful query using logical operators. As a result, you can find much more accurate and targeted results than with a simple search. Here you can see in which order a professional bug bounty hunter uses Google Dorking. During bug hunting, he will always test from the in-scope domain list. If you find any vulnerability from the in-scope domain list, you will get a reward. If you do something on out-of-scope domains, you can get banned again. This is the professional recon workflow. A senior pen tester works in exactly this order. Now let's look at it from a defender's perspective. How to protect your site from Google Dorking. You can use robots.txt to tell Google not to index a directory. Robots.txt is not a security tool, it's only for well-behaved crawlers. Attackers can ignore robots.txt. Still, it's good to have it. So far, we have seen how to find data by dorking, but as an ethical hacker, our biggest responsibility is remediation or solution. Look at the screen. We have created a complete hardening checklist. If directory listing is on, we need to go to the Apache or NGINX configuration and turn it off. If env or backup files are publicly visible, we need to use this HT access code. Exploitdb.com, this database has over 1,000 tested dorks. Filter by category. This is the most valuable resource for Google Dorking. For your convenience, I have neatly organized all the advanced dorks and my special logical queries shown in today's video into a GitHub repository. You can access it directly from the link given in the description. If you like the video, don't forget to like and comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, please comment. Thanks for watching.